Srimati Supriya Sule.
Sir, I stand on behalf of my party on the specified banknotes issue. Sir, a lot has been said through all my senior colleagues, so I won't repeat any of the technical issues, but I would like to ask 4 or 5 pointed questions to the Honorable Finance Minister. So my first question is, demonetization normally is done when there is extreme high inflation. So the government constantly is very happy and proudly saying that the inflation is really low at 5%. Then what was the real reason for this demonetization is my first technical question. Secondly, the idea of demonetization is to have smaller notes, not larger notes. In this government, they have removed 1,000 rupee and 500 rupee notes, introduced a 2,000 rupee note, and then eventually they have reintroduced a 500 rupee note. So what is the logic of this entire exercise that you have done? The reason given by this government for this entire exercise is removing of black money, counterfeit notes, and making sure that the terrorist activity goes down. Let's take, sir, one point at a time. Reducing corruption. Now, sir, truly do you believe that by this one intervention, corruption in India has really gone down? A lot has been said about banks some of the banks have very responsibly done work, but there are a lot of banks which we have seen high level of corruption even during exchanges of notes. So has this demonetization really served the purpose of what you're looking for in corruption? Second, of counterfeit notes, which even Dr. Saugata extensively talked about. If it was such a small exercise, have you really achieved 100% removing of counterfeit notes? Because in the media we have all seen fake currency notes are back again into the system. Point number 3, is the Naxalite and the actions of terrorism really reduced? The action in Jammu and Kashmir, sir. Everybody knows that in winter, this is the time when all the activity truly goes down, which has gone down now. So is it really connected to this? Is there any database proof that demonetization has reduced all these risks? Another question number 3, which is already raised earlier, if the government could kindly come, that how much money has really come back, which was earlier also raised, and now what I hear from the media is what I want to know, because most of our information about demonetization, very less has come from the government and more has come from the media. Some of it probably could be speculation, but if we get clarifications, I think all of India would have a clear idea what is really going on. Because unfortunately, we always thought that all financial issues like this were all issues addressed by the RBI. Since the demonetization, I think the RBI governor probably has opened or made a statement only once. So we really don't know whether the RBI is run by the government and finance ministry or the PMO, or is it really an independent body? I think we really need to, because RBI is a exceptionally independent body which has had a great stature in 65 years of India since independence. So it's a very important and a relevant body which deserves to have its own independence, and all the years it has managed to have an identity away from the government while working with the government. So if it kindly could tell me. Sir, in this cash to cashless, whether you want to make it a cashless economy or a less cash economy, whatever you want, I don't think any of us are against it. I mean, there are a lot of people, it's like talking about health issues. Does this side or that side disagree on good health? Of course, we all want health. So if you're going to eradicate corruption, we are happy to do it, but I think if we could debate it, deliberate it, we could come out with better solutions. So if you are looking for a cashless society or a complete digital India, and since it is concerned with cash, have you got an economist behavioral plan which over a period of time will give you solutions for this? My another pointed, sir, point number 5 is digital economy that you keep talking about. It's a welcome step, but do we have cyber laws for it? Do we have a regulator for it? Do we have real rules for it? Do we have a grievance mechanism for it? There was an article, sir, about ATMs. A lot is said about recalibration of ATMs here. There was an article about the software that Indian ATMs have. They have a Windows X software in every ATM in India. And now what we really need is Windows XP is what the entire globe is using. Today Microsoft is not willing to support the hackers in the Windows X. So if we are using Windows X, Microsoft is not willing to take really. So what is the plan for all the ATMs that you're looking for in a security point of view? So if you could kindly clarify about that. And about the transaction fees, whether we like it or not today, once we all go digital, it's all going to come at a cost. So you talk about digitizing India, we are very happy if it is. Even in Parliament, here we don't have Wi-Fi. If you want to sit here, I agree, mobile doesn't work out of security reasons, but Wi-Fi doesn't work even in Indian Parliament. So if it's not going to work here, how is it going to work in all of India? So I think that's first thing. We have to first implement it here before we talk about doing it for the entire country. And sir, one last pointed point which is not raised by anybody is the concern about the district cooperative banks. I've met the Honorable Finance Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister regarding this issue. Sir, I think the only point we really need that in this entire demonetization, one section of society which was completely left out and shown mistrust towards is the district cooperative banks. These are banks who live within the rules and regulations of RBI. The Finance Ministry controls each one of them, and after demonetization, for 3 full days, all the money that was collected, still that issue is not addressed. And my only pointed question about DCC banks to the Honorable Finance Minister is, sir, if after demonetization, since the money was not accepted, lot of banks, especially in the state which I represent, which is Maharashtra, Pune District Bank, Satara District Bank, all these banks have been checked by the RBI, their books have been changed, there are no counterfeit notes there, there is no hanky-panky there, there is no, and I'm not saying this, sir, the RBI and all the people who inquired from the Finance Ministry are saying this. So why is this kind of treatment being given to the district cooperative banks? They are not owned by anybody, they are owned by the farmers. And in the Honorable Finance Minister's budget speech also, no, just last one point, I'll just wrap it up. Just one second. And sir, the only point that he made was a lot of his projects for rural India are going to be implemented through district cooperative banks. So if during demonetization so much mistrust is shown to district cooperative banks, how will they be able to distribute all the projects which the Honorable was Finance Minister's dream projects? They are going to be implemented by district cooperative banks. But the mistrust, and today farmers are feeling nervous about district cooperative banks, and they are owned by them, they are run, they are financially sound, especially I am selectively talking about my state. He has every right to get a report of every state. Even Kerala is the same, Gujarat is the same. So we urge the Honorable Finance Minister to not treat our district cooperative banks distant, because most affected is even Karnataka, sir, where you come from, even those district cooperative banks are affected. So I urge him to include us in everything, because the corruption has come from private banks, not district cooperative banks. So I request him to make sure that we get a fair treatment. And in this demonetization, sir, one last point, that when it was done in 1978, sir, the ordinance was immediately brought in. Why the delay of so many weeks? So there's something that looks a bit grey here. So if the Honorable Finance Minister to clarify all our doubts and give the country a real direction and the honest truth behind this demonetization. Thank you.